What's up, guys? Welcome to your Bitcoin update. So the chart we've been watching on Bitcoin versus Amazon seems to be playing out beautifully. If I'm correct, it doesn't mean that we can't bounce up more, but we did break this orange trend line. And to me, that was once a trend line's broke, even though if it doesn't close below it, I think it's bound to continue down in the longer term. We do have where we bounced off of it here, which again, we did not bounce off of it here. And I've been talking about this orange trend line. But before we begin, we'll go into the smaller time frames also. We'll also take a look at the Dow Jones, the DXY, gold, silver, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP real quick. Those charts are very old, as you guys know. My targets are coming out beautifully. They've been laughed at. I've been spit on, like some people say. But anyways, welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig. We're going to be taking a look at the charts. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Take a second out, smash those likes. If you're watching on your cell phone, just exit the chat for a second. The thumbs up will come up, hit that, and then you can get right back into the chat. You won't miss anything. If you're on Google TV, down in the bottom left-hand corner, it says more options. Hit that and hit the like button. I do appreciate it. That's what helps the channel get out there. It helps YouTube know that you are watching the video, and it will help other people see it. That's how channels grow, and you are the ones that help it grow. So I would appreciate it if you did that. So anyways, our chart seems to be playing out beautifully. We're dropping below the orange trend line as of right now. Timed this video pretty much perfect, right? But if you look at the similarities here, even in the volume back here in Amazon, just same thing. Our support on the VPVR, same place. Everything is lining up perfectly. Now, does that mean it's going to play out 100%? No, it does not mean that. But so far, so good. Until it's invalidated, it seems to be pretty damn valid to me. Even in the MACD, the RSI, everything is lining up beautifully. There is a upside potential for this, as you can see back here after a few years. And this is the weekly chart, guys. This takes a very, very long time to play out. If it was to play out like Amazon did, not to say it has to, it could be quicker, it could take longer, but Amazon did not break its all-time high after this pattern here that seems like the same pattern as Bitcoin. It took 10 years to get back above that all-time high. Not to say it's gonna, but it is a good possibility. We've measured these tops out. We've measured the top to the bottom here. All of them are almost exact in timing also. So if that was the case, and this would help us time the bottom of Bitcoin, that would be the middle to end of September when Bitcoin would bottom out after this. Now, again, guys, it doesn't mean it goes straight down. If you look at where we were at here, this thing raised, we're going to zoom in real quick. I'm going to get the RSI and stuff off of these. And we're just going to take a look at where we might see this go if it does get this leg up like it got here. And if it does do that, it should be this week or next week. It should be a fast rally if it happens. I'm not convinced it's going to happen, but we're going to take a look at where it could go if it does happen. So if we go from the top here, put our fib levels on there, we go to the bottom where it bounced. Whoops, that is not my fibs. Let me put the fibs on here. Okay, so we put the fib retracement from the top to the bottom here, where it bottomed out. Let me move that a little bit more. So we got up to the 0.5 fib on this rally right here. Now, if that was to happen the same, and again, guys, this is a fractal. It doesn't have to play out exact. If you look at it, all the candles aren't exact, but the placement and where they end up is pretty damn close. Could this be a bubble top pattern? Maybe in the future you'll see that on the web as bubble pop pattern. So 0.5, if Bitcoin was to do the same thing it did back then, what we could then look for would be the 0.5 fib in the next couple weeks at the 54.5 range, 54 to 54.5, somewhere in that area. If we were to get up there, I would really keep a close eye on that and consider shorting if we get a nice rejection there. Now, again, that's if we get up there. We are breaking the orange trend line now, guys. You can see what happened last time. We had one little dip below it here. came back up. I don't know if you guys can see that. I will zoom in a little bit more. But we had one little dip below here, came back up also. Could we see that? Definitely a possibility. We'll take a look at the weekly chart too that we've been watching, just to give an idea of where we need to be watching. But as of right now, it is looking pretty grim. We'll take a look at the other markets too and see how that adds up. But first, I want to show you this right here. We're going to take a look at the big macro of Amazon and see what happened afterwards. For those of you that want to be extremely bullish, it's a beautiful chart. And here it is. So this is it right there. This yellow circle that you see right here where the blue arrow is, that is that peak that we were just looking at. The good thing is it did break. The bad thing is it took 10 years to break back above that. Again, I'm not saying it has to take 10 years, but if it was to play out like this, it still would be massively bullish for Bitcoin. A lot of people say you can't compare the .com stuff with Bitcoin. Well, charts are charts. So if you go in, you learn how to read charts and say a triangle. If a triangle works on one stock, it can't work on another stock because that's not the same kind of stock. That's not how it works. That's not how markets work. So if you are a trader, you're going to want to understand how patterns and markets work. You're not going to want to just say 100,000 just because, when there's really nothing saying that that's going to happen. It was supposed to happen last year. It was guaranteed and it didn't happen. And now this year they're guaranteeing it again. Well, I would be careful with that. This is the long-term parabolic trend chart. Every time we've broken the parabolic trend, we have went into a longer-term bear market, a year or two bear market. So what we're going to do, I'm going to come in here and show you. We're going to move this up a little bit now. We obviously hit our old target down here, got rejected. If we were to come back up, like I said, within the next couple weeks, that would line up with that 54.5 to come retest this. Now, if we open and close some dailies above this, then we could get bullish again. But until then, we'll remain bearish in the macro. Let's take a look at a couple more things. So this is my chart. If you guys remember, 5 waves down cannot be a correction. It's followed by 3 waves up, 5 waves down. We were waiting for 3 waves up. They went a little bit higher, but even so, I was thinking around 57-ish. Even so, if you did get out at 57, you're in pretty damn good shape now. But regardless, we got our ABC. It was a regular correction, was a big stop hunt up here. You know, trapping all the bulls that bought in when we broke this, created great liquidity for the big boys to get out of the market and take the FOMOers' money. And you can see what's happened since. Now, looking at this as a rising wedge, no one likes to talk about that because that's a bearish pattern. Rising, broadening wedge is bearish, but you will see all kinds of other patterns people are putting in here. But we had this drawn out before it even broke here. I told you guys back before it broke, if that broke, it was going to be bad. It was bad. The measured move of that is around the mid $20,000 range. So lower to mid $20,000 range would be the target for that. That doesn't mean it has to go straight down. We've talked about this many, many times. That just means that's the target if it continues to go down to the downside here, which I believe is a damn good possibility. Is it a guarantee? Nothing's a guarantee, but it's a good possibility. So looking at what's going down here, we were looking for 5 waves, but we've talked about it before. Over here, we had 5 waves, but they're pretty hard to count. You can see it. If I go in here, I'll throw it on there real quick. Let's see. So it was basically right here was your first wave to that 0.5 fib, which I said is a possibility we get up there. And then we had our 4th wave down here. And then our 5th wave bottomed a year and a half after the top up here. Now, also, what I want to point out in here is you can clearly see that same correction right here, that big ABC, just like right here, ABC. Same exact pattern playing out. Again, guys, it doesn't mean it has to, but damn, it's lining up pretty freaking well. Let's go into, so that's what I'm looking for here. Obviously, if you guys know my EMAs, last time we crossed here, a lot of people are saying it's a fractal of that, but it's really, I guess it could be, you know, it could be a fractal, but usually fractals are not the same size. in the same chart. Usually one fractal is bigger than the other. They're rarely the same. This would be the same, but it's looking less and less like a fractal here. But this cross right here could be extremely bad. That's the 55 EMA and the 200 EMA on the daily. You could argue, people were saying there was bullish divergence here. Obviously that is gone now, so be careful. Watch for that 8 EMA on the daily, and that's going to be right around that 42.5 range, and you're going to see that in a 4-hour here. This was the channel we were watching, this trading range. The measured move of that trading range, you just take the width of the trading range and bring it down. It's going to be around that 3,900. We also had this falling triangle here, or descending triangle, whatever you want to call it, wedge, whatever. We had a target of 42.5, which hit, and now that has become our resistance. So I'm still looking for that 37.6 to 38.1 range, or I'm sorry, 39,000 range. And that 39,000 range is the measured move of this old trading range, right? So that brings us down to this area. I still think it's a good possibility we get down there. It doesn't have to go straight down there, but now if we get back above that 42.5 and open and close the daily above there, we could go test this 45.5 again. If we get back into this range, then we could be heading up to that mid $50,000 range that we talked about. But until then, as of right now, our main resistance is 42.5. If that breaks, 45.5 would be where I'd watch. My targets now still are looking down towards this 39,000. We almost hit it. Could that be close enough? It is possible, but as of right now, it's still looking like we're probably going to end up there. Like I said, we may even come back up and test this 42.5 range one more time before coming down. But as of right now, I know everyone's getting very bullish. Everything's back to normal. This was the bottom, going to new all-time highs. Possible, but I doubt it. And if you guys are interested in trading, check out Prime XBT. I have a link down below. I will be giving them some new promos out for this this week. I should be getting them. They're setting them up. But as of right now, you can use my promo code SAVVY25. Will get you 25% off your trading fees, which is a huge bonus. You can also trade crypto, forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, everything from this one exchange. Another thing I do suggest if you're doing anything on the internet is use a VPN. I do have a link to a VPN down there with a huge discount. I think it ends up being 20 bucks for 2 years or something like that. Really cheap. But anyways, you can get that by using my link down below. Also, the Prime XBT link gives you some discounts, and there is a Prime XBT tutorial right here on my YouTube page. Definitely check that out. Shows you how to adjust your margin, where to put the promo code in, things like that. There's also some other free tutorials down here on using EMAs, RSI, looking for patterns. Definitely pretty helpful if you're new. They're older videos, but they're still good videos to watch with some good info, and they're free. So definitely check them out. They are on my page when you open the page down here. Which chart is this? This is that weekly chart that we've been talking about. So we have opened below 43.9. Now, again, we could get that spike up and come back down and still close below this. But if we open and close a weekly below this 32.9 range, which is also the 55 EMA, the next point of support is down here on the 200 EMA, which is around 24.5. Doesn't mean we'll get there in a week. No, it does not. We also talked about this right here, this head and shoulders on the weekly RSI, which did break, and we closed below. So we could come back up and test this the next week or two before continuing down. But that RSI trend line right there is going to be extremely important. So make sure you keep your eye on it. Check out my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. That link is also below. She has a crypto section, pet section, all kinds of cool stuff in there, guys. Definitely give it a look, and it helps support the channel. So this is the Dow Jones back here on the weekly. This is when the .com bubble hit. You can see the pattern there. It's kind of looking a lot like it right here if you take a look at it. Even after the bubble popped here, Dow Jones went up for one more high. Could that happen? Definitely a possibility. We'll be keeping an eye out for that. But let's look at the dollar index. So the dollar, you guys know my targets have been and remain right up here in the 97 to 98 range. We are getting rejected here on the trend line that we broke out above here. We should have support at the 55 EMA around 95.5. And then my major support line for the DXY is down here at the 94.7. I do believe if we even got down that low, it would definitely hold and we would get a bounce from there. That could take time. This is the daily chart. This stuff takes a while. And gold, as you guys know, we were looking for a rejection here at the 0.618 golden pocket zone, which we got. And we are now getting rejected at a 0.382 range at that 1800. We knew this was going to be a tough area. If that breaks, our next stop's going to be about 1815. If we are not able to break this and we get rejected, we'd be going back down to the 1782 range. And if that breaks, then we're looking to test these lows at 1750. If that breaks, then you guys know what my target has been. This chart is pretty close to a year old here. Silver, same thing. Silver fell through its 0.236. Actually, it's back above it. 0.382 is 22.95. If we get rejected there, I look for us to come back down to these lows here in the few coming months. Ethereum. Now, Ethereum has broke through our line of support here at 32.25. Next line of support's around this 22.5, 22.6 area. If that breaks, and again, if we get down there, we'll probably get a bounce back up into this range. And before continuing down, the RSI is pretty low here. But guys, if you understand the RSI, this RSI can move up while this is moving down and going sideways, making more room for the RSI to just continue down. If we are in a longer term bull market for Bitcoin, like I believe is very possible, could be seeing a $500 to $800 Ethereum, somewhere in that range. We'll give a better target, you know, as things play out and we keep an eye on it. Litecoin, same thing, guys. This chart is super old. We're looking for around the 110 range. If that breaks, long-term bear market down into the 20s. Again, this is going to take about a year and a half, possibly. If it is a bear market, it could take quite some time. So XRP, we know that once we broke this trend line again, it was in trouble. So unless it can break back above this, it's going to be around the 81 cent range. It remains bearish. If it can get above the 81, then I'd start looking for possibly 93 area, which would be the 200 EMA. If that breaks around that 113, until this top line's broken, I would not be super bullish on XRP in any way, shape, or form. Longer term bear market suggests down into the 20 cent range. If the longer term bear market happens, like I do believe is a good possibility. So that's what I'm seeing in the charts, guys. Hope everyone's having a great day. If you did make any New Year's resolutions, I hope they're working out well for you. Mine are. I have not smoked yet, so that's a good thing. All right, so anyways, what's going on in the chat here? 39.6 is a new macro low. Yes, it is. What narrative will the maxis make up for it dumping? Who knows? We're getting back above that orange trend line. So this is going to be a huge area to watch here, guys. Like I said, once it's broken, like it broke over here, came back up and still ended up breaking. Once that's broke, I think it's inevitable to come back down and break this line for the macro. Thanks, big dog. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, make sure you smash those likes. It really helps the videos out, helps YouTube push them, helps the algorithm. Also, if you're watching this video after, if you'd leave a comment below, I would appreciate that too. Anyways, do a quick, let's see who's bullish and bearish for the macro. So if you think we're in a macro bear market, hit 1. If you think we are still in the bull run, hit 2. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. They're all saying it's macro double bottom. Of course they are. So we're a mixed 5. What the hell's 5? So it looks like a little more bears in here, which obviously it's my channel. I would expect that, but there's still some bulls. Still think we're in a bull run. We'll see what happens. Nobody knows until it happens. So we'll see, but you guys know my opinion. It's nice to know yours. Bleed till 600 billion total market cap. That is a possibility. That would be pretty damaging, but it is possible. So anyways, guys, again, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to smash those likes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss out on the videos. We've been calling this for a while, guys, and it is coming to fruition. So Good luck. I hope you didn't buy the top if it was the top. And, you know, I wish everybody well. Be careful out there. If you're trading, always remember, take profits. Unrealized profits are not profits. Protect your capital. Be safe. They're out there to get your money, not your Bitcoin. Take it easy, guys. I'm out.